Joss Whedon's Batman movie. I'm ready to rip the seal off this bitch and talk it out.
I'm excited for this one, guys. It's not going to be a man in the box spiel. I'm excited for sure.
I'm excited too. This I would have never guessed in a million years, and man, it's just the move, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just such a smart move.
It's so smart. First of all, Joss Whedon, obviously, directing the first Avengers movie, has experience already dealing with superheroes. Especially, I think he really handled Black Widow well in that first movie.
He likes to write females, for sure.
And I feel like Batgirl is such a perfect character to introduce into her own film. Especially if they're going to keep her within this universe, which I'm assuming they are. I'm assuming it's going to connect to now the new Nightwing film that's coming up.
It is. We're going to get to that.
And I think it's really smart of them to play off, like even if they were to do, well, we'll talk about it when I get to like my movie ideas, like of what I want from the movie.
Well, yeah.
But I'm excited. I'm stoked about this news. This is exciting. This is more exciting than the Nightwing news. Do you remember, lest we forget, Dean was like, "Oh my God, Greg, like we're gonna get a Nightwing movie," and I was like, "I don't know, Dean. Like I can't be excited." This is the one that got me hyped because I love.
If anything is now more of a reason to get excited for the Nightwing movie because they're doing something. I really do, dude. I feel it. Like this is the ship turning, and Jeff Johns being like, "I know what we're gonna do. I have it figured out." Like it seems like with all this latest like batch of news coming out, projects being delayed, projects being shifted directors, we're getting a Nightwing and a Batgirl movie out of the blue now. Like something's cooking over there. Yeah. Something is definitely happening. So the details we have so far: Joss Whedon will write, direct, and produce, which is the way you want to do it.
Yep,
it's a lot of work for him, but it's the best way to keep that within his vision and cohesive. To Greg's point earlier, it is confirmed to be a part of the DC Extended Universe as well as Nightwing. So there's definitely something going on. They're both a part of that universe. This Batgirl will be based on Gal Simone's Batgirl, which is the new 52 Batgirl, which kind of clarifies a lot of things, especially speaking to the Justice League trailer and everybody freaking out at Greg about that. It does seem like this is kind of, without complete confirmation, you know, sort of affirming that this DC Extended Universe is going to revolve around the new 52 lore.
Yeah.
So we have that cleared up.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's really all the details we have so far, which is more than I thought we would get this early. The coolest thing, I think, aside from Batgirl being awesome, is that Gal Simone's Batgirl has a best friend. I want to say it's Alicia Yun or something like that. And it is the first like transgender character, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if the first transgender character, period, but
it'd be the first live action one that we got.
It would be the first live action movie, and I really hope they include her because everyone's gonna expect it. I think you're gonna really see some upset people if you don't, just not because of transgender, because people like that character.
It's really cool the way Batgirl finds out too, or Barbara, I should say, because they take her back to college in this run, and it's one of her good friends. She ends up. It's weird how they do the storyline because do you know like she gets like the implant back? So this takes all place. This is all in continuity with the Oracle storyline and the Killing Joke. So like in this run, like she's had her spinal paralysis, she's been Oracle, and she does an experimental surgery where they put a chip in her spine, very similar to like what Tony does with Rhodey in the MCU. So she gets the ability to walk again, and she almost goes through like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, what's the thing the like army people get? Like when they come back from war? No. When they come back from war and they're like fucked up in the head. What is that called?
PTSD?
Yeah, PTSD. That's what she gets in like the run. She's like trying to become Batgirl again, and when she's training and like trying to do like martial arts with her legs again, it's like traumatic for her. And she like gets to a point like there's a really awesome panel in the new run where she goes to stop a bank robbery and this guy pulls out a gun and she like can't move. Like she literally becomes paralyzed, but all in her head because she's like, fuck, what if I get shot? What if I'm paralyzed again? Like, I don't want to lose who I am anymore as a person. Like, I just got the ability back to walk. I think that would be such a cool way to approach this character.
Yeah.
Especially already having an established Batman, and he's aged up. Like, I feel like they could do a movie about Batgirl and give her flashbacks to her paralysis rather than an origin story about her meeting Bruce.
Yeah.
And then having Ben Affleck kind of influence and be in the movie that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With him being like, oh wow, like she's my Oracle, and that's why she's so smart, and she's so like techie, and her gadgets are a little bit different from mine because she can like hack stuff and blah blah blah.
So you do think, that was the question I wanted to ask you. You do think that Batman and Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be in this?
Yes. I think they'd be dumb not to. Yeah, I think they would be dumb not to do this.
I also think he's kind of has to be in Nightwing.
Yeah, completely. Well, if he's not Nightwing, that's literally dumb. That's
like, you don't have, it doesn't have to be like, you know, Batman colon the Nightwing movie.
Yeah.
But I think Batman needs to be present in their lives.
In the same way Tony's in Peter's life in the MCU. Like that's how I picture
they
this.
do have to be careful about, you know, how they use him and how much they use him, I think.
Yes.
But I definitely think he needs to be in both.
Yes, I completely agree. And to that point, I feel like Nightwing should be in the Batgirl film as well.
That's a great point.
Because they are so interconnected as characters, and with understanding Bruce and Batman and the Bat family dynamic, I feel like that's just a missed opportunity if they don't coincide those characters and their storylines together in some way, shape, and form. Although I do like to say, a lot of people were already saying on the internet, and I'm a big shipper of like relationships and stuff, but a lot of people were saying that they feel what's it called? Like they should hook up in the movie, so they were trying to cast people that would have good on-screen chemistry. I'm always a fan of Nightwing being with Starfire in the like bigger DC universe. Mm-hmm. He also has like a little thing with Raven at some point. I don't like him being with Batgirl as far as relationships go, because to me, I always kind of saw that dynamic as brother-sister, especially because it's like a Bat family. But
what do you think about the dynamic for the movie? Still no good?
Yeah, I want them to have that, like, I want them to have a relationship where it's like brother-sister, almost like a if anything, like almost like a, I was thinking about it and I was like, it's kind of like a me and a Jen dynamic.
Yeah.
In a sense. Like, I feel like it's like two really close friends that like they are there for each other, but to support each other, and then like they both succeed in their own lives, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Nightwing is there and has his own city, especially because he has Bloodhaven to run. I feel like Batgirl's story has to be set in Gotham, especially because Batman's not there. He's doing Justice League stuff, so like Batgirl could take up the mantle of protecting Gotham City. And I feel like Nightwing coming back in to help her, especially if they do the Oracle storyline where she's like dealing with the chip and the PTSD of it all. I feel like he could kind of be almost like her mentor / sidekick in a way. Just come back and help her with the city and like reclaiming Gotham. I think that would just be so smart. I have so many ideas for this movie.
It's definitely a good idea. I don't have any ideas myself of what exactly the storyline could be, but I am with you. I think Batman should be present in her life, and I think Nightwing should be present in her life as well. And that also will serve as a really good springboard for either one of them, whichever movie comes first, Batgirl or Nightwing.
Yeah.
It's good to understand that this is cohesive, especially with all the past stuff that's happened with the DC movies kind of like being a little janky of a timeline. Nobody really understands what's happened with like Green Lantern. I mean, people understand, but I don't think the casual audience quite understands yet.
Yeah.
So I think that's really smart. As far as story, I'm open, man. I'm open for it. I'm just so excited that they're making a Batgirl movie at all. So yeah,
she is my, if you guys don't know this about me, you can see her in the bottom corner of our screen here. Dean knows how much I love her. I love female characters. I love the female perspective. I think it's so cool to invest yourself in a character that's completely and totally opposite of you.
Yeah.
I think that's why in media, in video games, like when I can control a female character, when I can read about a female character, and when I can get insight onto them, I feel like that's so tantalizing to me. It's so exciting because I'm a man. Like, here I am, lo and behold, but like it's so cool to get that other perspective. Like, there's so many times, I bet you deal with this in yours and Jen's relationship, where you could be like, holy shit, if I could be Jen for a day and just see what's going on in that brain.
Oh, I definitely had that thought. Yeah,
like it's so crazy to me. I feel like it's so,
I would like to be everybody
cool
for a
dynamic.
day.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm so
not
curious.
Except for me. I
would like to be you for a day.
Crazy.
Yeah, I'd like to know. I'm curious to know like what you feel like and how like certain interactions affect like your mental processes, and like I am curious about that with everybody.
Would over fucking whelm you.
I'm pretty stone solid, man. I don't know. I would just that
I don't
should
know how
just
that would work.
deflect
My
off of
body
me.
would cry, but you're inside me, and you're like nothing. You have nothing.
Let's get to the real fun here, Greg, and that is casting the Batgirl.
Well, now
I've got like nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, other than the ones I've already listed here, but like they're just kind of ideas. There's no one that I'm like, you know,
give me your list first.
I'm pretty like once I've decided on who I want to play, somebody, I'm like pretty ride or die for that. I don't have anyone like that. I just have some ideas.
Okay.
I liked, although Andrew says she's not a great actress in live action. The only thing I saw her in is Twilight, and she voiced Batgirl. But I like Ashley Greene because she has the look. As far as her skill goes, it doesn't sound like she's got it. So, Rachel Evan Wood, who you may know from Westworld, she plays, what is her name?
Dolores?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was another choice of mine. I don't know if I really had many others.
I didn't even think of Dolores. That's a solid poll, Dean.
Yeah, there's not, like I said, I don't have a ton. I'm trying not to think. I'm trying not to just go to anyone that has red hair because that doesn't really matter.
No, they can dye hair.
Because you can just dye your hair. And my last one, and probably my best one, is Alicia Vikander.
Oh, that's a really good poll too.
Who, if you don't know, she played. I know Greg probably knows, but if you guys don't know, she played the robot in Ex Machina, and she's now playing Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider series.
Ooh, I like Elisa. That's
probably my top pick for Batgirl.
That's good.
And you all know my picks for Nightwing.
Yes, which a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon that Steven Yeun should be playing in, which I think is super, super cool. I would love to see him in that role. I think that would be awesome.
If they're doing anything other than a white guy, Steven Yeun. If
yes,
you're doing a white guy,
agree.
Zac Efron.
So here's where I fall. I'm gonna give you guys my obvious ones. This is a list for me. This is something I've been prepping for.
What do you
got?
As
soon as this is announced, I'm so ready, dude. Like, Batgirl's my character, especially because I think we've already seen like the images that are circulating about the Nightwing movie of him being in the red. Like, they're definitely influenced by the New 52 run. I really hope that they do like the spinal chip implant, and I hope they just don't do like, oh, here's a girl and she wants to become Batgirl. Like, I hope it's like Barbara Gordon. She's been through the ringer. She's been through some shit, especially now that we have Commissioner Gordon. I think that's an aspect of the movie they could really play off well of. Definitely. And I'm trying to think of the dynamic between J.K. Simmons is playing him as an older Commissioner Gordon. So just at this point, you would have to imagine that.
Just kidding, wait, Simmons?
What? Yes, literally. But I would imagine, like, if you're thinking about it that way, like, his daughter has to be aged up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So I was originally thinking of like younger people, but then when it came down to it, I was like, oh my God, like there could be so many other people that could take the mantle on, and I think would do her justice. So my first poll for you guys, this is going to seem odd.
Hit me.
But I'm kind of excited about this one. I was thinking about it more recently, and I was like,
the build-up is
excited. I was like, ooh, like she could actually probably do this character really, really good. She plays a geeky character, and her dynamic off other people is very, very strong.
Name her!
Haley Steinfeld.
Don't know her.
She's the girl. Well, she's popular. She's a singer as well. She's the one that sings, "Oh, gonna love myself. No, I don't need anybody else."
I'm looking her up. Oh yeah,
she was
Edge of 17.
Yes,
good choice.
She was most recently in Edge of 17.
That's a really good choice. I don't think that's weird at all. I think that's a great choice.
I
also
love
not. That's exactly the age I feel like they would go for.
And that's what I was thinking too. Is she's I think like early 20s, mid 20s, and I feel like as far as having an older dad, like if he would have had her at like 30 years old or like 28 years old, like he would be like 50 now, which is near Bruce's age as like the Dark Knight. And then to have that mentor mentality, like her to be.
I don't think she's as old as you think she is.
Well, I know she was like 20 something when she played the girl in Edge of 17. I know she was like 20 playing a 17-year-old.
I wouldn't see that movie.
It was so good, and that's what made me think of her.
She was born in 96. She's 20 right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. No, I had a feeling.
Oh, wow. She's younger than me?
Makes sense to me. She looks really young to me.
That's crazy. I thought she was old.
That said, I think this is totally on the money.
Isn't that a good poll?
Yeah, I think that's the age that you go for. I think that's really solid.
So I think that dynamic is super cool for a Batgirl movie because number one, then you get that like
that's a good choice, man. I don't know that I like anyone else now.
I told you I have more, but I've been pulling like odd characters for her. I've been thinking about a Batgirl movie for so fucking long, dude. Like this is.
No, I'm gonna watch that movie Because the only thing I've seen her in so far is Pitch Perfect. Yo, I didn't even know she was a singer.
She's an amazing singer too. So if they were to do a musical episode in the movie universe, there you go. But
definitely don't want that.
Yeah, no, I don't want to either. But I'm
gonna watch that
about
movie.
stuff in the New 52 run. She's in college, so like have a young girl that's going through college and dealing with that dynamic. Yeah. She discovers her transgender friend, and the friend has like a big coming out issue in the comic book run. And Barbara kind of takes it, and she's like, "I don't mean to be rude, but like I don't even know what that means." And through like the comic book runs, they kind of teach you about the transgender community, which I think would be really, really critical at a time like this, to like do that and play that dynamic off.
They're 100%. Joss Whedon is not an idiot, and neither is DC or Warner Brothers. They're definitely going to include that character for that reason.
I'm like,
very
that's so perfect.
Topical. It's very right now.
Yeah,
do it.
It would be so smart. And then Haley Steinfeld in Edge of 17. The reason why I pulled her as Batgirl, her dynamic with acting with other people and playing off with her best friend.
That's what I want to say. So we're going to watch it. I'm going to watch it because I haven't seen it, and it's actually on my movie list.
Yes, it's so good. And the brother in that movie, I pictured that dynamic being her dynamic with Nightwing.
Wow, I gotta see it. That's what I'm trying to say. We gotta take a breath. Hold on.
I know. I get excited.
I'm gonna watch this movie.
Okay.
This is the pick as far as I'm concerned so far. But I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm gonna check back and let you know what I felt about it.
Okay.
That said, I think it's really good, and I think she could easily pull off if they wanted to do Redhead Barbara. Easily pull off, not like crazy like fluorescent, but like a dark kind of like
an auburn.
Auburn. Yeah.
I think she has a very nice skin tone for it.
That's the one, dude. As long as she can act, and I can see that she's like good in that. Yeah. There's only one other person who can contest this, but I won't say it.
Okay. Do you want to give me my other polls? They might be in there.
Hit it.
Okay. Obviously, I would be amiss to not mention the most recent winner of an Academy Award for
the one.
La La Land, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone is the only one that could contest her for this role, in my opinion.
Dude,
in my eyes.
Fuck, dude. If you want to get some talent too with a name,
Emma Stone
she's coming to like such a good peak in her career too. Like, especially to play off of Batgirl's witty, dynamic vibe too. I think she would play very, very well off of Ben Affleck's dark and grim Bruce Wayne. To have Barbara come in there being
she's super sarcastic when she wants to be.
But
she has a lot of humor.
But I love the fact that Emma Stone knows how to do a serious role. And I was thinking about dealing with the stuff of PTSD, and Haley Steinfeld, the only fault I have against her as a weak part of that character would be the ability to deal with like life experiences and like have that maturity in her voice and in her performance. So I think Emma Stone would fill that role to be like a gun be pulled on her and her go through an emotional fucking paralysis in her brain to be like, fuck, dude, like it's all happening again. The world's crashing down on me. I think Emma Stone would be able to lead a movie too, as far as like stay on the movie poster and totally represent like a female superhero in an awesome, awesome way.
Emma Stone is a rare find. She's got the look for a Batgirl naturally. Yep. She's a redhead. She's got the whole thing going on. She's just naturally really sexy. Yeah. And she's a fantastic actress. She knows how to do drama. She really nails comedy. And the last thing I haven't seen her do is action. And I would love to see Emma Stone get a chance to kick some ass. She got to be Gwen Stacy, but there's more out there for her. She's definitely got to get into that superhero realm where she gets to play.
She's so perfect for it.
Yeah, I would love Emma Stone as this role. That is my number one. Haley is my second choice.
Yes, Haley Steinfeld. Emma Stone's my number one. That's why I would be amiss to not mention her. We all know how much I love her.
Best. I love Emma Stone.
And she's just like everything I've ever seen her in. To your point, the only action-y kind of thing I've seen her in is Zombieland, where she was able to like handle like not gadgets, but like guns and stuff. So I kind of pictured that dynamic of her like handling gadgets and tech. I just feel like she would play so well off of the other big name actors. Totally. Like I picture scenes with like her and like maybe even like Gal Gadot, or like if they were to bring her into a second iteration of like Justice League, and I feel like that dynamic would play really well.
If they do go with the brother kind of sister relationship of Nightwing and Batgirl, and you get Emma Stone, then you gotta do Zac Efron as Nightwing.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. So now my Nightwing pick for Haley was Stephen Yeun.
Yeah.
because Haley Steinfeld's super young. I think Steven Yeun would play very well off of her as kind of like an older brother mentor.
Yeah.
And he kind of resembles the kid that plays her brother in Edge of 17 a little bit. I feel like that dynamic would be amazing. But my pull for Emma Stone was going to be your pull of Zac Efron for Nightwing, because I feel they're both very big name actors. I feel like the comedic effect off of both of them would play
100%.
so fucking well. That would be like butter on bread, dude. Like,
yeah.
Zac Efron and Emma Stone, dude.
I agree. That would be
Like, that's
that would
so
be magic.
good.
Yeah.
That's so good. And then because I don't really see them necessarily having to be a couple as well, Zac Efron and Emma Stone as a brother sister, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's so perfect. Like, that's so perfect. A Barbara and a Dick. I couldn't pick two better people.
And they both, it's just perfect. That's the way to go. Yeah, that really is. This is so good.
But I'm thinking, like, Emma Stone probably has a lot of projects coming up. I don't know if they'd be able to work around her schedule. So I'm like, she just won.
She could do it. If they wanted Emma Stone and Emma Stone wanted to do it, they would work with her. I bet you $1 million. She's a huge catch for this, and she would be great for it. She's the perfect Batgirl. Really
yes, I really love her as that.
Let's get how many more do you have?
I only have two more.
Let's quick fire them because I want to get to our question of the week before we wrap up today.
Okay, one of them is an odd poll, but she's already kind of had experience with the superhero movie. This one is Invisible Woman from Fantastic Four, Kate Mara. I was thinking of her as like a strong female character, a strong female presence. She also has the red hair. That was more my red hair actress poll, more so than anything else. But I really like how fierce she is. I love her portrayal of Zoe in House of Cards. So I was thinking more of her so as that character, as like the reporter kind of aspect, and being like over the mic for Oracle.
Never watched House of Cards.
I think she would be able to do an Oracle very, very strong. So that was why I pulled her.
I don't like her personally. I don't think she's a very good actress. She's very blah. She's very wet blankety. She's very dry.
Okay.
Good day, sir.
Okay, there we go. And then I had an honorable mention as well. So I guess I have two more, but I'll quick fire those as well. So my next poll was, I don't know if you know her, Summer Glau.
I'm looking them all up as we go.
She is already has a very strong relationship with Joss Whedon because she did the show Serenity, and then he also helped produce Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles, where she played the Terminator on the show.
No, she's so bad.
Oh, I like Summer Glau a lot.
No, thank you.
And I thought she would be a really cool dynamic if they were to age her up, because now she's like in her like extra 20-year-olds. And then my last
20-year-olds.
I don't know how to describe her. I don't know, because I didn't want to like say she was 28 because I didn't know she was that old.
She's 35.
No, but like she is. I knew she was older.
Too old.
So I didn't know if they were gonna go like super super old. But that was my poll for like a
that's
super
not really
old.
Too old, I guess. But I don't like her.
I like much more the younger dynamic playing off of like an old Bruce. And then my honorable mention was like a random pick I pulled because I think I just love her in the stuff I've seen her in. She was in Scott Pilgrim, and then she was in most recently 10 Cloverfield Lane, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I loved her in 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I was thinking about the PTSD kind of side of things in the New 52 run of how she has to deal with psychopath fucking John Goodman. And I was playing that dynamic.
I haven't seen it, so don't say anything else.
Well, not to spoil the movie, but
don't spoil the movie.
Don't stop. Well, no, you could see in the trailers that he's like a crazy guy, and she is in this bunker with this guy. Well, yeah, he's like crazy. Well, you knew that from the trailer.
No, I didn't. I'm telling you, I didn't. I didn't get that from the trailers. I didn't know he was a PST guy. That's why you gotta not. If someone says no
he doesn't have PTSD.
Just stop spoiling it. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying John Goodman's like, there's something off about him and that character in the movie. So when you're dealing with like the PTSD side of things and dealing with like the Oracle nonsense, I thought she would be a great pull for that. And she's a really solid actress.
She's a great actress, and I loved her in Scott Pilgrim. I would have no qualms with her playing Batgirl. I think she's great, and I think she's kind of hot as well. But I just want to say, I don't think it's necessary to go so heavy on this PTSD stuff that you're kind of highlighting here.
Well, I think that would be I want her to be.
Let me finish. Hey, take turns. You know what I mean? Did you ever learn that lesson?
I know. I didn't.
I think it would be an interesting detail to her character, but I think too heavy of a focus on that could easily ruin this. And I don't think it's necessary to really include PTSD at all. I think it's fine if they want to have her like be affected by that situation. And reference it if that is the way they're gonna like work this into the story. Yeah. I just think it's not so much a factor. It shouldn't be so much a factor in their casting, and I don't think they need to focus so heavy on it in the movie at all.
I don't think they need to focus heavy on the PTSD is the wrong word. It's just the only thing I can think of, like that they could have moments and scenes where like, because if at the end of the day, if you're making this not an origin story, but like it's kind of an origin story by getting the spinal implant, if they go that route with it, like she has to relearn martial arts, she has to redo all of her training, so it's kind of like a
have to relearn. She still knows martial arts. She'd have to practice, but she still knows.
Well, I mean, like relearning it, like for her muscles, like for her muscle memory, so like relearn and like go to do like kicks and like blah blah blah, like the actual physical act of doing it.
Right.
I feel like that part of it, you've been paralyzed for how long, you know? And in the comic book line in the New 52 run, she's like older before she gets paralyzed, and then they kind of like, without giving you a continuity, they kind of just like throw her in college again. And she's like younger, so that's why my top poll is Haley Steinfeld. But if I got my ways and I got my dream, it'd be Emma Stone. But I just wanted to give my shout out to the other people.
Emma Stone is all. First of all, round of applause for your research there and
Thank you.
The casting.
I was ready for this.
Sound and reasonable choices.
Yes.
Aside from Kate Mara, I don't like Kate Mara. That's my personal. That's my personal bias. I don't like her. Everybody else, Emma Stone is my top pick for sure.
Yes.
Haley Steinfeld is my second pick, very closely under Emma Stone. That Haley Steinfeld's a fucking great one that I don't think a lot of people have thought of.
I just love her. I love her so much.
I'm gonna watch that movie and
you'll love her after you see Edge of 17. You'll be like fucking Batgirl.
I like her. Her character in Pitch Perfect 2 I found very annoying.
But yeah, but that's Pitch Perfect.
So I'm hoping this is not the case. But
no, that's Pitch Perfect.
Also, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, great choice. All good choices. But
I know she can handle action from Scott Pilgrim. Like I feel like she's been on that dynamic and like
she's hot, man, and she kind of looks like Barb. She does.